And we are live. Welcome back to Soup with Coop. Today's Soup edition is, what do we got? Italian Wedding is on the menu today. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. We are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big old Thursday. We are continuing on with day 55 of our 73 NFL Draft Countdown, 73-day countdown up until the NFL Draft, looking at an NFL Draft prospect every single day to kind of get us ready for the draft. Who should our teams be drafting? Who are those sleeper picks that are coming up in the second and third and fourth round that, whoa, what? Like Tim the Tool Mine Taylor. Who is that? So we got to get prepared for the draft. Draft is this month, folks. Got to get locked and loaded. So we're going to be looking at Dyami Brown, wide receiver from UNC. So obviously not, Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith, but we'll see what Dyami Brown's got and if he can kind of compete with them in this kind of draft class of great wide receiver talent. So we're going to be looking at him, breaking down the NBA from last night, doing a moneymaker for tonight's action because, hey, we didn't do it live on the show, but we did it. We posted it on our Twitter about an hour and a half before game started. We went 3 for 3, bingo, bango. See what happens when we kind of do our moneymaker right up until game time. We know what we're talking about. It's just some of those game time decisions when we're doing it kind of 1 o'clock, 1:30ish. It's it's a little hit and miss just because we still have like 6 hours before all the in and out are settled. So yeah, we got all that today on the show, so let's just start here with the moneymaker. What did we pick yesterday? We tweeted it out at 6 o'clock. Like we said, we couldn't do it yesterday live on the show because we had to fit in the NBA Finals prediction where we kind of walk through if the season ended right now, who would win the NBA Finals. But this is what we had yesterday. Rockets plus 10. Folks, do not sleep on this Rockets team. I know they lost like 20 straight games, but that was in the wonky scenario where they were coming off of great play, having Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood, and John Wall all playing every single night consistently. Then Christian Wood goes down, and the entire thing just crumbles. They fell hard. They didn't have the other big to kind of compensate of what Christian Wood was doing. After Christian Wood went down, Victor Oladipo said, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not even playing for y'all anymore. I'll play like one game every week maybe, but I got load management, folks, so I cannot play. And then they ended up trading him. And then John Wall still during that time was like, you know what, I'll be in, I'll be out. I'm still out. I'm in, kinda, I'm out. So it was just, there was no solid rotation. There was no big. Their kind of superstars didn't even want to be on the team. But after that trade deadline, they got rid of Victor Oladipo. Christian Wood started to come back into the lineup. John Wall started to play a little bit more consistently. He did miss their last game, not last night's game, but the game before that. And they got Kelly Olynyk, who's actually thriving heavily in this Rockets organization. Now, we knew the Rockets have kind of ran a lot of small ball offense recently, having James Harden and, with Mike D'Antoni. So that may be a reason why he's having so much success here, but absolutely fantastic. Rockets plus 10 was tremendous value. We got it. We ate it. We swallowed it up. And they ended up winning outright. They beat the Mavericks outright, but we still got them plus 10. It was tremendous value. Do not sleep on this Rockets team. And if Vegas doesn't learn, we'll keep on eating up this value. I think it's going to start going down, but hey, at least we got one day out of it, right? All right, what else did we get? Nuggets minus 7 against the Spurs last night. They win by 10. Even without Jamal Murray, I still didn't care. I love this Nuggets team. Start respecting this Nuggets team a lot more. The Spurs show us really nothing all season. This Nuggets team with Aaron Gordon's looking absolutely killer, and they don't even need Jamal Murray. How crazy is that? The bench steps up. Facundo Campazzo steps up in Jamal Murray's place, and they're able to get it done. So Nuggets minus 7. They win by 10. Bingo, bango. And that brings us to the Suns and the Jazz. And I mean, the Jazz, yes, they're a great team, but we're feeling the Suns team. We took them +2 last night. They went outright, an absolutely great battle that went into overtime last night. But at the end of the day, Suns are at home. Chris Paul is still doing Chris Paul clutch things. Same thing with Devin Booker, and the Suns are able to get the win in the overtime period. So they went outright, didn't even need the +2. So absolutely magnificent in our moneymaker. And like I said, when we're kind of doing it right before tip-off, when we kind of know, all right, these are the ins, these are the outs, now we can start making like solid decisions. So absolutely perfect. Our first kind of late moneymaker goes 100%. Come on, folks. Come on, folks. Alrighty, so that was that. We're going to go back-to-back tonight. I'm feeling great about it. Alrighty, but let's keep moving on with the stories. Alrighty, we talked about this one, I think maybe like late last week, about it potentially happening, and it is finally going to happen. So the NFL is expected to pass a rule that will relax the jersey number restrictions. Quarterbacks could only be 1 through 19. Wide receivers could be 1 through 49, and then 80 through 89. Same thing with running backs. Same thing with tight ends. Defensive backs, 1 through 49. Linebackers, 1 through 59, and then 90 through 99. Offensive linemen, 50 through 79. Defensive linemen, 50 through 79, but also 90 through 99. So that was kind of the jersey limitations, the number limitations on every kind of position here in the NFL. But they're going to be done with that. You can choose whatever number you want. You want to be number 1 and you're a defensive lineman? Go ahead. You want to be number 4 and you're an offensive lineman? Go ahead. You want to be number 2, like this edition of Derrick Henry right here? Yes, sir. Look at that number 2. It looks so great on him. He really should be wearing number 1. I mean, because he's the best damn running back in the league and the best damn running back of all time and possibly the greatest player to ever step foot on an NFL football field. I have no problem saying that already. So we'll see if Derrick Henry changes his number. I want that number 1 on the man. Tell him you're number 1, everything, player, position, all time, right now, on the team, in the NFL right now. He's the best player, folks. So we'll see if anybody changes their number. We just saw Stephon Diggs has a quote saying that he's not going to change his number because of everybody that bought his jersey. So respect to that. But I got Discover Card, baby. They got jersey insurance. Change your number. I don't give a damn. They sent me a free jersey. So we'll see if anybody really changes their number. Christian McCaffrey with 5. I really don't like that. Ugh. So Bleacher Report was kind of, doing some mock jersey number swaps. Odell Beckham with the 3. I still like the 13. It's pretty iconic. So I don't really know if any current player is going to start changing their number, but look at this new wave coming in when they've got their kind of pick of the crop. We'll see if they change their number. So not a big story, but definitely, a fun story. We all call it the NFL, the no fun league, but they allowed the celebrations, and now you can choose whatever number you want, regardless of your position. So I'm all about it. At least I think so, until, on Sundays when we got, 1, 2, 5, 6 on the offensive linemen and the quarterback's wearing like 41 and the wide receivers are wearing like 72 and 73. Then it's going to be like, what the hell did we do? But until that comes, the thought of it sounds pretty good. So we'll see how the execution goes. Alrighty, so some teams were interested in the Sam Darnold trade before it even happened. So the Washington football team and the 49ers looked into Sam Darnold trade before free agency. Now, a little interesting that the 49ers would look at Sam Darnold like you're so unimpressed by Jimmy Garoppolo, you're looking at Sam Darnold. Really kind of wild there, but definitely very interesting that Washington didn't go with Sam Darnold because they only had Taylor Heineke on the roster. They brought in Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm assuming that they were kind of looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick and Sam Darnold kind of at the same time. And the fact that they chose Ryan Fitzpatrick over Sam Darnold, I think is a pretty kind of telling of what Ron Rivera just kind of thinks about what Sam Darnold can do on the field, which obviously isn't that great because, I mean, if you, let's just say you throw this out there, I give you 3 quarterback choices, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, or Sam Darnold. I think a lot of people are going to say Sam Darnold, even including myself, just because of, he's been a he's been a solid starter. He just hasn't really gotten a fair shake with like a real good coach, offensive coordinator, anything like that, or real just talent around him. So it's really kind of interesting. Washington, who, I mean, Taylor Heineke, like I want to root for this man, and I do like rooting for this man, but he played like one game. He started like one game last year. Yeah, he started in the playoffs and looked pretty good, but still, it's just like one game, like 2 game small sample size. So definitely real interesting that Washington didn't take a shot at Sam Darnold, especially of how kind of cheap in value he was. I mean, you only really gave up a second round pick for a quarterback. That's pretty damn good. So definitely very telling here, and I just think that makes, Matt Rule's decision to kind of take Sam Darnold over Teddy Bridgewater just even more kind of a big old question mark. Like, what were you thinking? Washington, not desperate at quarterback because we know Ron Rivera. He's like, hey, I don't care who's on our team. We're going to rock and we're going to start winning. So it doesn't really matter. But, the fact that Washington didn't take Sam Darnold, I think is pretty telling, and I think Matt Rule made the wrong decision. So, teams, they were looking at Sam Darnold, but at the end of the day, they chose other things. 49ers were like, yeah, we'll take a quarterback in the draft, or we'll stick with Jimmy Garoppolo. And Washington's like, yeah, we'll stick with Taylor Heineke, and then we'll bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick, and we'll rock with either of those two. So I don't know, man. Not very good news here if you're a Sam Darnold fan, or if you're a Panthers fan, now that you have to kind of really rely on Sam Darnold this year. So other teams were interested. They didn't pull the trigger like Matt Rule did, though. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Alrighty, quarterback Justin Fields is planning to throw again. Ohio State is holding their second pro day on April 14th. Now, what is significant about that is that Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, Bill Belichick, and Josh McDaniels were among the kind of NFL coaches and general managers that did not attend Justin Fields' first pro day. So a little interesting there of why. We know the 49ers are in kind of a quarterback market. Why are you not going out and kind of looking at, what people are saying is kind of the second best quarterback prospect in this league under Trevor Lawrence, obviously. So it's a little interesting there. But we did get this story right here that the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan are going to attend Justin Fields' second pro day. So it's just going to be up to Billy B. Is he even interested in Justin Fields? Does he even think he has a chance at Justin Fields? I mean, the Patriots aren't even in the top 6 picks here, so they're probably not going to get kind of the quarterback they want. So we'll see what happens here, but definitely a lot more interesting now that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are going to his pro day. Now that they are at the number 3 position, now that they are 100% getting a quarterback, now that they know the Jets are kind of also in the market for a quarterback. So I think the 49ers were really kind of set on Zach Wilson, but now the Jets are like, yeah, we're getting a quarterback and we're not going to tell you which one we kind of are, really jazzed up about. So now the 49ers are like, damn, we need a backup plan. I guess we got to go watch Justin Fields now. We didn't want to, but we have to go do that now. So I cannot wait for this draft, folks. That number 2 and number 3 pick, who will be those quarterbacks that kind of fill out there? Truly cannot wait for that, and I truly don't even know. I would say the 49ers are going to go get Zach Wilson, but now that the Jets are getting a quarterback too, I mean, I think Rob Saleh is really, truly going to try and stick it to the 49ers, I think. I mean, that's the only thing that really makes sense there. So we'll see who shows up, if Bill Belichick ends up showing up, since he did it for his first pro day, but we'll keep an eye on that on April 14th. Alrighty, a little bit of pressure here on Tua. Brian Jones, the safety for the Dolphins, safety/cornerback for the Dolphins, says the Dolphins, quote, expect a big jump from quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. And yeah, I mean, we do expect a little bit of a bigger jump. I mean, he didn't have a kind of offseason, the preseason, the OTAs and the training camps of everything like that. And then he kind of got thrown in, decently kind of after the first quarter of the season. Last year, he got kind of thrown in there, and he did pretty good. I mean, he was winning us games. He was being competitive. He didn't really turn the ball over. Now, he did get kind of bailed out on a lot of kind of potential picks that weren't picks because they got called back for penalties. So he did kind of get bailed out a lot, and that is something that we don't really see too much in the media. You would only know if you kind of watch the games. So that was definitely something to keep in mind of Tua, but I love his accuracy. I mean, he was accurate as heck. Every single throw, he's placing it right on the money. So I've got no problem, and I'm not really worried that he's not going to make the second jump here, but let's just see what Brian Jones is saying about Tua here. Quote, it's exciting. This team is comprised of a bunch of young guys, Jones said of Tua. Quote, obviously, he's going into his second year. What we saw last year was great from him, but we're expecting a big jump. The kid's been working. I know he's been working. He's been a great kid, really good head on his shoulder, and that's the beauty of it. We're surrounded by a bunch of good guys who want to be great again, and I love that. I can tell that Brian Jones is truly excited about kind of the energy and the talent and just kind of everybody on the same page here in the Dolphins organization. So that's absolutely key, and we have to give a lot of credit to Brian Flores for really just building this locker room culture that everybody's buying in. Everybody wants to be getting better, and just like Brian Jones says again right here, we got a bunch of good guys who want to be great again. They want to prove, hey, we can still play out here. We can play out here. We're a real team to be kind of reckoned with in the NFL. But let's continue on with the quote here. Quote, so I'm looking forward to seeing his jump. His contributions on the team have been great so far, but we're looking for even something better this year. It's exciting. I can't wait to see him work his magic. So it's not like this team is putting a lot of pressure on Tua. They're saying, oh my God, like, you're great and we love you and we love what you can do and we know you work hard and you're freaking smart and you got the good head on your shoulders and all of that. But, you know, obviously in the NFL, you need to start winning and we need to start, you know, getting the ball down the field a lot more. So, I mean, these are reasonable expectations for Tua. So I've got no problem with Brian Jones saying, yeah, we are expecting a big jump. That's kind of the concise kind of, you know, sense I'm getting here with just everybody and just kind of the organization and kind of just what everybody expects from everybody, every single player. Everybody is expected to get better. Not kind of like what I think was going on in Carolina now that we know that Teddy Bridgewater is no longer going to be the starter there. It's not kind of like, you know, you make a bad throw and then Matt Rule's over there like, oh my God, Teddy, if you don't step up, you're going to be gone because I need more consistent throws. It's Brian Flores being like, yeah, Tua, that was great. You know, you could have done this next time, but, you know, let's try it out next time. Or, all right, you had a real great first season. Let's start to step it up a little bit into the second season. I still believe in you, but let's step it up. Not like Matt Rule saying, hey, Teddy Bridgewater, if you throw one more interception, you're out of here. If you throw another turnover, you're out of here. If you don't get it done in the fourth quarter, you're out of here. So difference in locker rooms, I'm assuming, between the Dolphins and the Panthers. One's going to be a Super Bowl participant this season, and one's going to have Sam Darnold. So I'll let you decide who's who there. And I tell you, the Dolphins are not getting Sam Darnold. Alrighty, let's keep going on here. Deshaun Watson, yikes, another little update here. We just saw yesterday on the show that, you know, Nike dropped their endorsement, their sponsorships of Deshaun Watson, and now Deshaun Watson is estimated to lose $8 million in endorsement money this year over the sexual assault allegation. So let's go into this article right here and see if there's any good quotes, if there's any other big companies that are kind of following Nike suit, or if it's all just $8 million from Nike. So here we go. After a victim came out and spoke publicly about his behavior during a massage session, Nike suspended its sponsorship with him. Beats by Dre shortly followed by ending their relationship with Watson. Reliant Energy, which holds the naming rights to the stadium in which the Texans play, has ended its relationship with Watson as well. The stadium, damn. Reliant's going to be like, we don't even want you in our stadium. You can't even be a Texan anymore. Could you imagine the naming rights owner of a stadium for a team just kind of decides, hey, we don't even want this man in our own building. You're going to have to get rid of him. So I don't think it's going to get to that point. But man, oh man, Nike, Beats by Dre, Reliant Energy, the naming rights of the stadium is ending their relationship with him as well. On top of that, Texas grocery store chain H-E-B said in a statement that its relationship with Watson ended with the 2020 season, in that there is, quote, no plans for future engagement. Damn, they don't even endorse this man anymore, but they did previously in the past, and they just want to make sure, hey, everybody, our relationship ended in 2020 before we knew all of this, so relax on us over here. Damn, the local grocery store can't even go shopping there no more. Damn. So let's see what he's got left right now. Only Rolex and Lefty's famous cheesesteak. What a kind of a range of endorsements here. Rolex, Nike, Lefty's famous cheesesteaks. All right, so Rolex and only Lefty's famous cheesesteaks appear to still be on his side, but it's inevitable that those two will cut ties soon as well. So, not great here from Deshaun Watson. When you're starting to lose money, your attitude's going to change. So we'll see if anything's going to come out more of Deshaun Watson this week. Maybe he's just going to kind of settle all these lawsuits. I mean, he could have taken this $8 million and paid off everybody. We saw that one girl yesterday on the show that wanted like $100,000, and now there's 22. That's $2.2 million. You could have paid that off with $8 million, and you still could have made a profit. You still could have made a profit through sexual assault. How crazy is that? Maybe that's the business scheme right there. Get endorsements, sexual assault, pay them off, and you're still making money. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how soon Lefty's famous cheesesteaks right here. I mean, do they have any morals? Obviously not. So we'll see what's going to be the final straw that really kind of sets out Lefty's famous cheesesteaks to be like, all right, now we've seen enough. 50 girls, now we've seen. You nutted on this girl twice in one session. That's a little too much. Now the cheesesteaks have to kind of be off of the Deshaun Watson train over here. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see kind of how long Rolex and the cheesesteaks can stay on Deshaun Watson's side. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Next story up, Richard Sherman. You know, we've heard him being big talk about, you know, the Jets are the best team and everybody needs to go to the Jets. Deshaun Watson, you want out? Go to the Jets, because I'm trying to get to the Jets, but Robert Saleh is not returning any of my phone calls. So we really thought Richard Sherman would get signed kind of immediately to the Jets, but that hasn't worked out. So now we're kind of in this weird limbo of Richard Sherman homeless here in the NFL. But Richard Sherman says he expects to wait until after the NFL draft to land a job. Quote, you turn 33 and it's like, well, wait until let's start this over. Quote, you turn 33 and then it's like, wait until we get a young pup, and if we can't get a young pup, we'll take the old fool. So, I mean, obviously, you know, in this draft, you can kind of get that young, cheap player on that kind of nice 4-year deal that's really cheap, and then, you know, if he doesn't play, you know, out of his mind, you don't have to pay him, or you just pay him, you know, less money than what you would have to pay a veteran in this league. So, obviously, not a lot of calls immediately for Richard Sherman, especially kind of how decently deep the cornerback kind of, the cornerback depth there is in this NFL draft. We just saw, you know, Richard Sherman say, who was the corner that he said yesterday? We brought it up on the show. Damn it. Let me see if I can get there very quickly. He was talking about one of the corners of saying that he was kind of, you know, expecting him to have the best career of the corners. Which one did he say? J.C. Horn. That's who it was. Yeah, right here. J.C. Horn. Yep. All right. So, you know, J.C. Horn's out there. We'll see, you know, if he goes somewhere over Richard Sherman or what happens. But Richard Sherman's just like, all right, I'll wait till after the draft until they have to settle on me, and that's where I'll make my signing. But not looking too good that Robert Saleh is that impressed with Richard Sherman. I mean, how does Robert Saleh, that's been working with Richard Sherman these last 2 seasons, he gets his first head coaching job? You would think you want somebody on your team that you can trust. I mean, because you want to, you know, make a good name for yourself. This is your first time as a head coach. I mean, you kind of don't get a second chance. We just saw Todd Bowles, defensive-minded head coach, go to the Jets and just absolutely flounder. Now, it's the Jets, and they're just an awful organization just in the first place, so we can kind of blame some of that. But when's the next time he's going to get a head coaching job? Because he's just a defensive coordinator and he won a championship. I don't know if he can be that head coach. So Robert Saleh wants to make a little bit of a better impression. I just really think it speaks a lot of volumes here that he did not sign Richard Sherman instantly. So maybe Robert Saleh thinks he's definitely lost a step, but we'll see where he goes. And the fact that he's not getting signed already, I think it's kind of a telltale sign that maybe potentially Richard Sherman can't play in this league anymore, which is kind of crazy to say. You know, it's definitely hard to kind of maintain a great level of kind of high level success of being kind of the best of your position, whether cornerback, running back, wide receiver, quarterback, anything like that. So, you know, Richard Sherman, he had his kind of nice 2, 3, 4-year run there with the Seahawks. But, like I said, it's hard to maintain that number one in any position, that high level of status every single season. That's why Tom Brady's just such an outlier. He's the exception to the rule. I mean, the average kind of lifespan in this NFL league is like 2 to 3 seasons. It's really not as long as all these quarterbacks make it out to be. And the fact that you're there playing at that kind of high level, at that top tier level, number one in their position every single season for like 10 to 15 years, it's really just it's just wild to think about in the grand scheme of everybody in the NFL. So we'll see where Richard Sherman goes, but I would probably expect him not to be with the Jets. Alrighty. The Jets are now looking kind of for a veteran quarterback. They know they're going to take a quarterback in this draft, but now they just want somebody to back up. All right, this is a nice veteran to have. Learn a little bit from him, as we get kind of going. Maybe have this veteran start the first couple of games to get the rookie acclimated. So the Jets are going to be taking a look at veteran quarterback Brian Hoyer. He's going to be visiting with the Jets now. Is Brian Hoyer good? Is he a serviceable backup? Well, he's a backup. I mean, you can clearly see by, his stats and his records and all this. So, I mean, the meaningful seasons where he played like 13 games with the Browns, 7-6, 55% completion percentage, absolutely garbage. 3,300 yards, which is pretty decent for only 13 games. 12 touchdowns, but 13 interceptions. Not even 1-to-1 touchdown and interception ratio. So, absolutely garbage that year in 2014. Then in 2015 with the Houston Texans, he played 9 games, went 5-4. 60% completion percentage, 2,600 yards, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So that was a good year. I'll take that year. 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, 60% completion percentage, and he has a winning record. But then just recently, just started 5 games for the Bears. Couldn't even make the Bears work in 2016. What a dumpster fire that Bears team. Look at these quarterbacks that they've had. Brian Hoyer, Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, Jesus. Jeez. So 2016 with the Bears, played 5 games, went 1-4, but he had 67% completion percentage. Oh my God, 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks, and he still went 1-4. Damn, truly unfortunate there. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. And then in 2017, 2 teams. He played 6 games with the 49ers, went 0-6 on 58% completion percentage, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions in 6 games. Jeez. He's just kind of a classic backup out here, not really giving you, what's his career record? 16-23, so doesn't even kind of give you a 50-50 chance to win the game. Classic backup. So we'll see. They're not expecting him to, do anything major out here. They're just kind of expecting this person to fill in and just kind of be a decent kind of veteran presence out there to learn from. But definitely don't expect anything big from him. Don't expect really any wins. Just need a body out here that can kind of teach a little bit. So we'll see if they end up going with Brian Hoyer. There's not a lot of veteran quarterbacks out in the market. We just saw Ryan Fitzpatrick get picked up. Andy Dalton's now a starter for some reason. And it's a little interesting. Well, I guess, at the time, the Jets didn't need the quarterback for Mitch Trubisky. And having Mitch Trubisky kind of in the Jets locker room would kind of, ensue a quarterback competition. I think the Jets want to stay away from that a little bit. So we'll see if Brian Hoyer is the quarterback they go with, but they're running out of options. There's not a lot of backup quarterbacks right now that are available that also aren't kind of potential starters. Like Marcus Mariota, if you bring him on your team, that's a potential starter, potential, quarterback controversy. Same thing with kind of, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So we'll see what the Jets do, but they're looking at Brian Hoyer first. Alrighty, let's head to some NBA stories here. The Toronto Raptors are going to get Khem Birch once he kind of clears waivers from the Magic. Now, the Raptors are in a dire need of somebody. They need something. They are floundering big time, and they're definitely floundering at the center position. they're going to want to get another big. Excuse me. So, Pascal Siakam doesn't have to stay at the 5 for the entire season. I know he's kind of moved off the 4 to the 4, but they're still not that deep at that kind of center position. They're currently number 11 here in the Eastern Conference, so they're only about 2 games back from that kind of 10th seed for a play-in tournament shot. So they still have, something to kind of make out of this season. If they can get into the playoffs, I mean, we know the Raptors' magic. Truly, anything can happen. Not too realistically this season compared to like last season and the season with Kawhi Leonard, but they still have that magic, so they definitely at least want to try and get into that play-in tournament to see what they can do, but they have to start winning a lot more games first, so they're going to try and get another big here by bringing in Khem Birch. Now let's see what Khem Birch was doing here when he was with the Magic. Just this is his 4th NBA season, and he's only putting up 5 points and 5 rebounds. He's not getting a lot of play out there for the Magic. I mean, with Aaron Gordon and Vucevic, there's really no position for him out there unless coming off the bench. And now, ever since they kind of gotten rid of all their teams, he's been let's see if he's been playing more minutes first. Is he one of these players that is getting more time out here now that really kind of everybody has been gone? Let's see what his minutes are been playing like. Yeah, I mean, he's up to like 22. Yeah, he's up to like 20 minutes. He played 36 minutes the other night, and he put up 14 points and 15 rebounds. I mean, that's exactly what this Raptors team needs. So, yeah, when you just kind of first look at his stats, he's not really doing anything, but he hasn't been getting a lot of playing time. So, a nice little 6'9" center coming over for the Raptors to see if Khem Birch can be the savior for this Raptors team and just have them kind of get into the play-in tournament just to see what they can do. What they can finally do once everybody's healthy, once Kyle Lowry comes back and Fred VanVleet can start playing a little bit consistently, and now they got Khem Birch. So we'll see what he can do here if he gets into the starting lineup. Aaron Baines, how long is he still going to be on the team? OG Anunoby, let's see all of that. So we'll see what their starting lineup's going to be, but Khem Birch coming to the Raptors. Alrighty, and then last night, a huge kind of Western Conference showdown. The Suns trying to inch a little bit closer here to that number 1 seed in the West, and they did exactly that. So fantastic work for the Suns beating the Jazz last night. They are now a game and a half behind that first place spot, and we know they want that first place spot so bad. Chris Paul finally wants home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs, hoping that will finally do it to allow him to get into the kind of finals finally. So after the game, Devin Booker was kind of, asked, how does he feel about not being in the MVP discussion? And this is a perfect quote by this man, and I absolutely love it. Here we go. Quote, "I'm more worried about getting these wins, more interested in getting the number 1 seed in the West." Absolutely speak that talk. Yes, sir. Not everything is about, I want to be the best. I want to be the MVP. I want all the awards. I mean, this Suns team is kind of, is like the definition of everybody in that starting lineup getting it done. There really is no MVP on that kind of Suns team. Yes, Devin Booker puts up the most points, but did you just see Chris Paul hitting all those clutch threes last night? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about how well he's able to facilitate the floor? Can we all just talk about how great defensively they were against last night against the Jazz? Can we speak about how they kind of exposed Rudy Gobert all the time during the floor, just hitting some nice kind of floaters over him, getting into that kind of middle space where he can't really defend between, down low in the post and that kind of 3-point line on the pick and rolls. It's just like they just did so well out here. It's not all about the MVP, man. So I love this kind of response here by Devin Booker. Go and get that number 1 seed. Go and get a ring, man. You don't need to be the MVP. MVP really kind of means nothing. Ever since they stopped giving it to LeBron, it truly means nothing anymore. So yes, sir. Devin Booker's only worried about winning. MVPs, I don't care. I'm trying to win out here. If y'all don't think I'm MVP, I don't care. That means nothing. I'm trying to get that trophy at the end of the year, not the trophy the day before, whenever the awards come out. After basically the entire season has ended. I don't care about that award anymore. So absolutely love it. A fantastic win by the Suns last night. And, the Jazz, a little bit of a fraudulent great team, I would say. Little bit. All right. All right, but Donovan Mitchell was also clutch last night in this kind of Jazz Suns game. I mean, it truly was a fantastic game to watch. So if you couldn't watch it, unfortunate. Try to rewatch it if you can somehow. But Donovan Mitchell, I mean, can we talk about how clutch this man is there? Down 3, he just takes the ball, commands the ball, goes down, just kind of hitting a 3 in stride here to tie up the game at 10 seconds left, and they're able to go to overtime because of this shot alone. So we know this man is ice cold blooded, stone cold killer out here on the court. He will go up and tie the game and win the game, no problem. Unfortunately, just the Jazz couldn't keep up scoring in overtime, but when the big shots need to come out, Donovan Mitchell is there. Also, unfortunately, Chris Paul said, hey, y'all forgot about me. Now, I know this is new school kind of game winner, big old shot in Donovan Mitchell, but did you forget about, old faithful, old reliable, little old me, Chris Paul, little, 6-foot point guard out here, point god. Y'all heard that? I'm the point god out here, and I was hitting clutch threes to kind of cancel out the new school Donovan Mitchell. So really going back and forth all game. Truly a great game to watch and some clutch potential out there. I mean, that was exactly what I wanted to see from the Suns Jazz team. Two great teams going at it. Who's going to be the most clutch one at the end? And it was Chris Paul in the Suns. So great game last night. Alrighty, we get a quote here because the Rockets, are winning and being a lot more competitive now. Absolutely love it. Absolutely called it as well, but, enough of the brags for us tonight. But here we go. John Wall, a little bit of an interesting quote here, a little bit of a funny quote here on Kevin Porter Jr. So this is what John Wall said. Here we go. Quote, I tell him all the time, you're just as talented as me. You got so much potential in this league. And all I thought about when I was reading this quote is Kevin Porter reacting to this quote, be like, all right, yeah, okay, thanks. Oh, I'm as like what a weird brag to say. You're just as talented as me. Could you imagine going up to somebody and be like, "Oh my God, you're just as good as me. You're not better than me. You may not be as good as me, maybe just a sliver slightly below me, but you're just as good as me." I would be like, "Okay, thanks. Okay, I don't need your freaking recognition. I don't need that from you, but okay, if you're going to put yourself at that highly talented that, you have to go out and be like, oh my goodness, he's as good as me." Just a little weird. I just, thinking about this quote, I thought it was a little comical. If somebody ever said that to me, I don't know what I would say. I would be like, oh, okay, thank you. Okay. And Kevin Porter Jr. is probably thinking to himself, I'm better than you, dude. Or I don't want to be as talented as you because you haven't won in this league. So is that even a compliment? You've been in this league like 9 seasons and has never gotten past like the second round of the playoffs. This is my second season and I'm just as good as you. So why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me? You don't even know what it means to win in this league. We could try to win together. I've got no problem with that. But don't, come in here, with their 9 seasons just because you were born before me and thinking that you can kind of, talk down to me a little bit or just kind of make yourself look better while also piggybacking on my success. It's just a little interesting quote. I don't think I would ever say that to somebody. Oh, you're just as talented as me. That's such a wild brag to say to say to somebody. So that's the only reason why we brought up the quote on the show. Just thought it was funny. John Wall just I don't even know what to say. John Wall win first. I don't know. But John Wall says Kevin Porter Jr. is just as good as him. So alrighty. All right, and then the last story to talk about here. DeMar DeRozan will reportedly take a, quote, wide open approach to his upcoming free agency. And yeah, he's probably like, can I go somewhere? I see, the super team in Brooklyn. I see LeBron getting all the help that he needs. I just saw Tom Brady switch over to a new team and win instantly. I want to win. I'm here with the Spurs, and I thought, I was going to get some people here, but nobody here. And I like Greg Popovich, but, it's not fun when nobody else is here and we're not winning and being the best. We're bottom of the barrel, can't be consistent. I got no great shooting help out here. We're winning defensively. I want a chance at a ring. So, of course, DeMar DeRozan is going to take a wide approach. He deserves to go and try to compete for another ring or another championship. Or a championship. Does he even have a ring? I don't think he was with that Raptors team when they won. I think they got rid of him the last year, the year before, that same season. So it's truly unfortunate. I don't think this man's got a ring. So of course he's going to be taking his wide open approach here. What do we got here? Was he there in 2018? Is that when they won? Or was it 2019 when they finally won the ring? What do we got here? 2018, his last year with the Raptors, they lost the Eastern Conference semis. And then was it the next year they won the ring? They won the NBA. the year they get rid of DeMar DeRozan, they win the ring. So, of course, this man is going to take a wide open approach. He's probably salty as hell. Y'all won a mother-loving ring as soon as I leave. Disrespectful. Damn it. I laid all that foundation. I laid all that groundwork for Kawhi Leonard to come in and swoop in and take all the credit for while I get, shipped over to San Antonio where we haven't been, the same Spurs team ever since. So, yeah, I mean, obviously he's definitely going to want to, what's the best he did? Has he even gotten out of the second round of the playoffs? Keeps losing in the first and second rounds here. Second round, another one, 0-4 sweep in 2017. 2012, didn't even get to the postseason. 2014, lost in the first round, 3-4. So, I mean, he wants to win a ring, folks. He wants to get to the Western Conference Finals or just the Conference Finals, whichever conference he ends up on. But, yeah, of course he's going to take a wide open approach. I don't think anybody's going to fault him, and I think a lot of people are going to be paying this man a lot of money to kind of shore up, be the last missing piece to make that championship run that he's after as well. So we'll see where he goes. Definitely not going to be in San Antonio next season. Of course, well, alrighty, here we go. Those are all the stories we needed to talk about today. So let's head over to the NBA, talk about what happened last night, do a moneymaker, and go back-to-back on tonight's action because we got some nice nationally televised games on tonight. Cannot wait for them. And then we'll head over to our NFL draft prospect of the day. So let's get right into it and start here with the Timberwolves and the Pacers, and just an all-out offensive battle. But the Pacers were able to kind of seal it off here. 141-137 win over the Timberwolves. So very well done for the Pacers, winning a game they should win. Really got great production from everybody. I mean, when you're putting up 140 points, you would expect a lot of contribution from everybody. So let's get right into it here with the starting lineup. And they still had no Domantas Sabonis. So very interesting there. So let's see who steps it up here. Edmund Sumner still at the starting point guard, only 7 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, nothing truly great there. Karis LeVert, 18 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 0 of 3 from 3, so not the greatest there, 50% overall. Goga Bitadze here in the starting center position, 14 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds, nothing great there. Doug McDermott put up 12 points, 12 points, 2 rebounds, and then Justin Holiday with the 21 points, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds at 5 of 8 from 3, so he had a great night. But let's talk about this mother-loving bench out here. Holy moly. TJ McConnell, 19 points, 15 assists, fantastic. Jakar Sampson, 16 points, 5 rebounds. Aaron Holiday, 22 points. The Holiday brothers getting it done scoring here. So great job here off the bench, and the starters all getting it kind of done equally here. But let's see where the Timberwolves kind of floundered a little bit. We still see D'Angelo Russell is coming off the bench. Hopefully he kind of makes that starting lineup any minute now to really kind of see what this big three of D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, and Karl Anthony Towns can do. But Ricky Rubio still getting the starting nod at the starting point guard position, and he had a great game, 17 points, 3 steals, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He only shot 36%, but overall, a pretty great night. Anthony Edwards still getting it done, very well done, 27 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 52% in 2 of 5 from 3. Karl Anthony Towns, as usual, can always get it done, 32 huge points, 6 assists, 12 rebounds. He shot 70%. Jake Layman here at the 4, 9 points, 2 rebounds. Jaden McDaniels at the 3, 8.7 rebounds. And then we get D'Angelo Russell off the bench, 17 points, 5 assists. Once again, he didn't shoot well, 2 of 7 from 3 and 33% overall from the field. But everything else, 17 points, 5 assists. I'll give it that in his second game back of missing basically the entire season. Definitely want to see what this Timberwolves team can do to kind of gear up for their next season, where they'll have another draft pick here, a good draft pick, obviously, since they're, bottom of the barrel team here, but they'll kind of get that potential missing link there. They'll have Ricky Rubio off the bench to kind of facilitate that squad. D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, all in that starting lineup. I cannot wait till that's kind of what is happening out here to get a real sense of what this team can do. And let's also shout out Naz Reid off the bench for the Timberwolves, 16 points, 5 rebounds. But Pacers are able to get the win here, 141-137. Still don't have an opinion change on the Pacers. I mean, it's still nothing great, beating the bottom of the barrel teams very closely. I mean, 4 points. You beat them by 4 points. Congrats. So Pacers, still the same old, same old. Alrighty, let's head over to the Wizards and the Magic. And man, oh man, that Magic team has kind of ran out a little bit as well. Just kind of, everybody next man up mentality stepping it up. And we'll talk about that in a second. But let's start here with the Wizards. Bradley Beal is back, baby. And he had a pretty decent game. But let's start here with Russell Westbrook. 23 points, 15 assists, 14 rebounds on 72% shooting. 3 of 3 from 3. And here is the cherry on top, folks. Only 5 turnovers. That's what we're talking about. Russell, fantastic night by him. Bradley Beal's first game back here, 26 points, 5 assists. He shot 4 of 6 from 3. Fantastic. 57% overall from the field. Once again, very, very good. Alex Len still not playing a lot of minutes and still floundering out in those light minutes. 2 points, 4 rebounds. Decent defense. We see a +6 in his light 15 minutes out there. Rui Hachimura, 9 points on 33% shooting. He had 7 rebounds. I'll give him that. And then Denny Avdija, 16 points and 5 rebounds on very good shooting. 4 of 7 from 3, 60% overall. So very well done here by Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. We get Denny into the mix. And then we get Davis Bertans. Yes, sir. This man off the bench gets it done. I'm telling y'all, the third best scorer here for the squad. And that's what he did here last night. Davis Bertans in only 19 minutes, 22 points. We will love that, and we will take it. 6 of 11 from the 3. So very well done to him. And then Robin Lopez also off the bench, 19 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. So that's why, the Wizards work, folks, when Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook are on, and then they get that great kind of extra production from Davis Bertans. He's able to get it done. But Davis Bertans, when he's in the starting lineup, he doesn't get it done because, Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, they don't really share the ball too much. That's why everybody else in the starting lineup really doesn't have, the 15-plus points that, we kind of need here in a kind of complete overall team. So Davis Bertans coming off the bench is the perfect scenario, and they usually kind of win every single game where he comes off the bench. Let's actually try to investigate. Can we investigate that very quickly here? Let's go to Davis Bertans' career stats very quickly. I want to say they've won every single game where he comes off the bench, and I'm not exaggerating. So let's see what we get here. How many games has he played off the bench? 33 games, so they should have 33 wins, but they don't. So, alrighty. He's only had 5 games where he's not come off the bench, where he was in the starting lineup. So that makes a lot more sense here. Where are the games where he started? Can we get that quickly? Yeah, let's see these games where they started. All right, first game he started against Chicago. They ended up winning. Then he started against Toronto. They lost. They started it against the Knicks. They lost by 18. The Toronto game, they lost by 22. The game that they won, they only won by 4 points. So 3 starts and 2 of them absolutely blowouts. Let's get his last 2 starts here. A 22-point loss against Dallas, and then a 2-point loss against Toronto. So yes, Davis Bertans in the starting lineup does not work. They only win 1 game when he's in the starting lineup of the 5 times he was. So yes, Davis Bertans coming off the bench is exactly where he needs to be. Do not play around with the starting lineup and have him in there. Alrighty, so well done by the Wizards here. All right, let's talk about the Magic now. The starters did not get it done, but we can talk about this bench because some nice performances there. But let's talk about the starting lineup. Michael Carter-Williams at the starting point guard position. Not a bad night. I mean, pretty good. 13 points, 4 steals, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Really just got it done in every facet of the game. And he also shot 66% from the field. Dwayne Bacon, not a great night, only 6 points, 3 of 9 from the field, 33%. Wendell Carter Jr. doing still nice stuff out here for the Magic, 15 points, 4 rebounds. Chuma Okeke, 6 points, and then James Ennis III, also only 4 points. So a little lackluster scoring by the starters, but look at this bench. Here we go. Terrence Ross, 24 points, 6 rebounds. Great night. He shot 56% from the field. Cole Anthony put up 13 points and 7 assists off the bench. Mo Bamba, 19 points, 8 rebounds. He shot fantastic, 3 of 4 from 3 and 58% overall. And then RJ Hampton, 14 points, 6 rebounds off the bench as well. So great night from this Magic bench. Unfortunately, they didn't have the starters to get it done, and they didn't have, the 23, the 26, the 22, the 19, the 16-point performances in depth like the Washington Wizards had. So very well done for Russell Westbrook, having a clean game mostly, and they were able to get the win. Alrighty, next game up is the Celtics and the Knicks. And man, oh man, the Knicks, a little bit of a better bench than the Celtics have, but they still can't get it done because the Knicks bench did not have a great game. And that's what the Knicks need to win every single game. A good night by all the starters and a good night by all the bench players, but they don't get that, so we never really buy them. So Celtics are able to kind of squeak out a win here. And also the Celtics still had no Evan Fournier. So how crazy is that? They also weren't even having Kemba Walker in this game. So there was absolutely no reason for this Knicks team to lose, but they did. Can't trust them. So let's start here with the Celtics. Jason Tatum, 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. An absolutely magnificent night, having to kind of carry the squad. Let's, before we go any further here with the Celtics, let's tell you what their starting lineup is. Obviously, because we know no Kemba Walker, no Evan Fournier, so let's see who fills in. And Evan Fournier comes off the bench, I get it, but let's see who steps up, because obviously Evan Fournier would be the person in that starting lineup for Kemba Walker. But with all those two players being out, Marcus Smart has over to the starting point guard position. Romeo Langford, who just came back for the Celtics team, gets up at the starting 2 shooting guard position. Jaylen Brown moves over to the 3, Jason Tatum at the 4, and Robert Williams still at the 5. So that's how their starting lineup shakes out. So Jason Tatum had a great game. Jaylen Brown had a fantastic game as well. 32 points, 3 assists, 10 rebounds, 5 of 13 from 3. So, that's what we're talking about with the Celtics team. They need Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to kind of be the bulk of their scoring, and that's exactly what they got, because the second highest scorer was Marcus Smart with 17 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. He shot 3 of 6 from 3 and 36% overall. He also had a nice clutch kind of 3-point shot at the end of the fourth quarter to kind of really ice the game a little bit. So very well done to him. And then, so we get, 25 by Tatum, 32 by Brown, 17 by Marcus Smart. Then the fourth leading scorer was only 7 points, and that was Tristan Thompson off the bench. So Tristan Thompson's finally back here for the Celtics team, giving them that extra boost they needed at the big beef down low position. So Tristan Thompson off the bench, 7 points, 8 rebounds. That was the fourth leading scorer. And then here we go, the fifth leading scorer here, tied here, Romeo Langford at the number 2 starting spot. 6 points, 6 rebounds, and then Robert Williams, 6 points, 10 rebounds at the starting 5. So nothing really great here. This Celtics team is not deep. We know this. Besides Evan Fournier, that's really it. Moritz Wagner still did not play this game, so a little unfortunate there. Got to see what Moritz Wagner can do on this team, and he hasn't been getting the minutes to kind of prove what he can do. But the Celtics are able to escape with a win, and now let's see who floundered here for the Knicks, man. RJ Barrett had an absolutely great game and he was hitting clutch 3 after clutch 3. So let's start with him. I mean, he put up 29 points, 2 assists, 5 rebounds, but he shot 6 of 6 from 3. Absolutely fantastic right there. 71% overall from the game, but absolutely fantastic performance here by RJ Barrett. Clutch as heck. Just unfortunate Marcus Smart was a little bit more clutch at the end of the day, hitting kind of the last 3-pointer there to kind of really set them over the edge. So very well done to RJ Barrett. He did his thing. Julius Randle was kind of doing his thing out there, not efficiently, but 22 points, 3 steals, 6 assists, 9 rebounds. He shot 39% on 23 shots. Not the greatest out there, but overall, I mean, kind of getting that same production we get. And then just nobody else really steps up. Nobody else from the starters, which we're kind of used to, and nobody else from the bench, which if we're used to, that means they're not winning. And what are they in their last 5? Because we've kind of been not used to it here. 4-6 in the last 10, just nothing great here from this Knicks team. So truly unfortunate. But let's talk about everybody else here. Alfred Payton only putting up 8 points for the starters. Nerlens Noel 7 points, 6 rebounds. He was a -18 in a 2-point loss. Jesus. And then Reggie Bullock 6 points, 3 rebounds on 25% shooting. And then the bench didn't do anything that great either. Derrick Rose put up 11 points and 3 assists in 26 minutes, and he hit 1 of 1 from 3, but just 40% overall from the field. Nothing truly great. Taj Gibson got it done defensively, and that's what we know of him. We don't really expect him to put up 10 plus points. We know he can. He's got the potential, but that's not really his game. He was a +15 on the floor in 19 minutes, so obviously, getting it done defensively. Then we get Alec Burks, 8 points, 8 rebounds off the bench, but then, Emmanuel Quickly, only 5 points in 13 minutes, and Obi Toppin, only 2 points, and he's only playing 10 minutes, so maybe the problem is, these bench players aren't getting solid minutes here off the bench. Maybe you got to play the starters a little less and just kind of get that good production because, if you play the starters, 36 minutes or 30 minutes, there's really no difference between their production here. The stars, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett all can get it done, with ever how many minutes you kind of put them on. But, playing Reggie Bullock 25 minutes and Nerlens Noel 27 minutes and Alfred Payton 21 minutes, it doesn't really make that much of a difference out here. So I don't know, man. This Knicks team has to find out something else. They need to find out new ways to win, maybe new starting lineups, because what they have right now, it does not work. So we'll see what the Knicks do, but they just keep sliding and sliding and sliding. Remember when the Knicks were like the 4th seed in the East? They're currently the number 8th seed, looking to kind of be out of, that, I guess it doesn't matter 7 through 10 because it's all kind of the same, a play-in tournament, but still, you want more chances at that play-in tournament. Like we said, if you're the 7th or the 8th seed, you have 2 games to kind of win and try to get that play-in tournament, where if you're 9 or 10, you only have one chance, one opportunity to go and get that spot. So the Knicks have to do something. Alrighty, let's move on here to the Rockets and the Mavericks, and this was one of our money maker games. Rockets +10, and they win by 9. Could have taken them straight up and would have gotten a tremendous value there. Rockets on the money line would have been fantastic, but we take them +10 because, we like a little bit of security. And that's what the Rockets do. They just go out and win the game. So love this Rockets team. Look at this lineup. I like the lineup. I actually like Kelly Olynyk coming off the bench, but he had a fantastic game, so I can't knock him. Him in the starting lineup for the Rockets absolutely works. So here we go. John Wall at the 1, Kevin Porter Jr. at the 2, Jae'Sean Tate at the 3, Kelly Olynyk at the 4, and Christian Wood at the 5. And that is a fantastic lineup here. So here we go. John Wall, 31 points, 4 steals, 7 assists, 3 rebounds on 4 of 10 from 3, and 52% overall from the field. Kevin Porter Jr., 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on 2 of 5 from 3, 55% from the field. Christian Wood, 22 points, 10 rebounds. Great night by him. He shot 5 of 8 from 3. Wonderful. Kelly Olynyk, 10 points, 18 rebounds. Yes, sir. He didn't shoot well from 3, 1 of 4. But overall, I'll take those 18 gosh dang rebounds. Absolutely. And then Jae'Sean Tate, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists to round out the starter. So, really just a good job all around here by the starters. Having kind of Kelly Olynyk not come off the bench, that's where they get kind of a little not deep. The leading scorer off the bench was Sterling Brown, and that's great. We can kind of rely on him. He wasn't efficient, but he put up 9 points on 3 of 7 from 3. So that was decent. Avery Bradley, only 3 points off the bench. DJ Augustine, only 3 points off the bench. And Kenyon Martin, only 2 points off the bench. So they are going to need a little bit of another scorer here to come off the bench. That's why I kind of liked Kelly Olynyk coming off the bench, having him and kind of Sterling Brown a little bit decent off the bench. Avery Bradley kind of facilitating the floor a little bit with Kelly Olynyk out there, but hey, he made it work here for the starting rotation, so we're not going to knock him for that. So overall, you can buy this Rockets team, and if we get 10 points, we'll be taking it every single time. We have no problem with that, folks. Alrighty, now the Mavericks lost. Interesting here. So let's see why. Luka Doncic, 23 points, 5 assists, 9 rebounds. He shot 1 of 9 from 3. Yikes, that's a lockdown from 3. Josh Richardson also locked down all game. 1 point in 29 minutes, 0 of 6 from 3, 0 of 9 from the field. Could not get anything. He even split at the line. He got to the line twice and only hit 1. Not a great night by him. Porzingis, 23 points, 12 rebounds, classic game. Nikola Melli, only 2 points, and then Dorian Finney-Smith, 9 points, 7 rebounds. So besides the main two there, Porzingis and Luka, no real great scoring production from the starters, and that's what we know about this team. We know they got a decent bench here. Tim Hardaway Jr., potential 6th man of the year candidate for us, 18 points, 6 rebounds, and then Jalen Brunson also off the bench, 14 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. So overall, just nobody else stepping it up here for this Mavericks team, and the Rockets are able to take advantage. Alrighty, so let's move on to the Hawks and the Grizzlies now. Grizzlies ended up getting the win here. Unfortunate for the Hawks, they lost. No Clint Capella, which definitely hurt them. But their first kind of loss with Lou Williams in the starting rotation. A little unfortunate, but let's talk about the Grizzlies since they got the win first. Ja Morant, 19 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 of 3 from 3, 61% overall. He's really kind of taking a little bit of a facilitator role here, kind of in this second half of the season, and I'm all about Ja Morant doing that, and they're usually winning a lot of games when he's just efficient shooting the ball, getting those kind of 15 plus points, but then just kind of getting in the facilitating of the game with the 7 rebounds. So absolutely wonderful job here by Ja Morant. Grayson Allen had a fantastic game, led the scores. How crazy is that? 30 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 of 9 from 3, but just 55% overall from the field, taking 18 shots. So he got it done. I'll give it to him. Jonas Valanciunas, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. Kyle Anderson, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. And then Dylan Brooks to round out the starters there, 17 points on 3 of 5 from 3. So that starting lineup all got it done. They even got some solid contributions here off the bench. Tyus Jones, 10 points, 4 assists. I'll give him that. And then let's shout out John Concher as well, 7 points and 4 rebounds. So not bad overall here. Desmond Bane put up 5 points, 4 rebounds in 19 minutes. Xavier Tillman put up 4.6 rebounds in 17 minutes. So great night by the starters, and then just kind of trickling in there off the bench all around. So great night here by the Grizzlies. Definitely something that we can start buying into a little bit more. I think they've kind of really found their footing here. They're not taking that kind of, one step forward, one step back, another step forward. They're 3 games above 500 now. I think that's the best they've ever been all season long. They're 7-3 in their last 10, so we can start buying this Grizzlies team as consistent team, consistent players, consistent performances, so we can start buying them a little bit more on our moneymaker, and I'm all about it. Alrighty, where are we at? Alrighty, so great night by the Grizzlies. The Hawks, no Clint Capella, so Anika Okongwu steps up in his place, and he had 13 points, 11 rebounds, so decent night, kind of what he does, kind of what Clint Capella can do on a nightly basis, so not a bad trade-off there. Trae Young, 14 points, 11 assists, 5 rebounds. He didn't shoot well, 0-4 from 3, 35% overall. That was kind of the difference in this game. We had Ja Morant being efficient and facilitating the ball. Trae Young facilitating the ball just wasn't efficient. And that was kind of a huge reason why they won. Bogdan Bogdanovic still having great performances out here. 24 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and he shot 4 of 8 from 3. So magnificent work. Solomon Hill here in the starting lineup, 10.6 rebounds. And then Kevin Huerter back in the starting lineup, 13 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds on 38% shooting. Not terrible overall. All right, off the bench now, Lou Williams, 13 points on 1 of 3 from 3 and 50% overall. Tony Snell with 9 points off the bench, and Nathan Knight also 9 points, 4 rebounds off the bench. So just a little lackluster from the starters here compared to what the Grizzlies did, and the Hawks' kind of 4-game winning streak since Lou Williams got there is unfortunately snapped. Alrighty, let's go to the Hornets and the Thunder now. Here we go. Hornets able to get the win. Another win here without all their kind of pieces here against the Thunder without, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Dort and all that. So not a huge, great win, not a buying win for this Hornets team, but a good win that I'm proud to see, because I want to see this team at least be a little bit paid for what they did in the season so far by at least being in the play-in tournament. Now, they won't win a game in the play-in tournament, I don't think, or, if they do somehow miraculously come out of the play-in tournament, they instantly get swept by whoever they play, but, they deserve to kind of still be talked about, even though other players are not kind of healthy anymore. But let's shout out some players that did do well this game. So here we go. Devontae Graham, 15 points, 3 steals, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. He was a plus 27 on the floor in a 11-point win. So very, very wonderful job there. Terry Rozier, 17 points, 5 assists. He shot 3 of 10 from 3 and 36% overall. PJ Washington slides over to the starting 5 position, and he had 12 points and 7 rebounds. It's not bad. He didn't shoot well from there, 23% overall from the field and 2 of 9 from 3, but overall, 12.7 rebounds. I'll give it to him. Decent. He was a -4, in a win, so definitely not great overall, but still got it done. Did just enough to win. So PJ Washington at the 5. It's not going to work out. He's played the 3, the 4, and the 5 all season, and it's really just nothing consistent. Unfortunate. Jalen McDaniels, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Great night by him. And then Miles Bridges to round out the starters, 16 points, 4 rebounds. Yes, sir. They were kind of efficient. They shot 44% as a team. I love it. Alrighty. And then off the bench, we get anything great here. Brad Wanamaker, 12 points, 6 assists off the bench. And then look at this. Cody Zeller, yes, sir, still there off the bench. 15 points and 14 rebounds. That man is still getting it done off the bench. And I think that's great for this team, having that kind of good big off the bench to kind of be that main kind of, facilitator, kind of general on the floor. So not bad here by the Hornets. Truly impressive. And then here, the Thunder, Alexej Puko-Sevsky. He's really been coming into his own here for the Thunder now that, Dort and Gilgeous-Alexander are not there. So very well done to Puko-Sevsky. 25 points, 4 assists, 9 rebounds on 7 of 11 from 3. Holy moly. Also, let's shout out Theo Melendon here. 25 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. And then 2 great bench performances out here. Tony Bradley with 12 points off the bench. And Jalen Horde, 13 points off the bench as well. So, very well done to this Thunder team of, next man up mentality. We're starting to get some good performances out here by the Thunder. We'll see if they can kind of keep it up when everybody gets back into the starting lineup healthy. Let's see what Puko can do with Dort out there and Gilgeous-Alexander out there. Let's see if Theo Melendon can still keep it up. And let's see what they can do when they're fully healthy. But Hornets get the win. Very well done for them. Alrighty, our second pick here in our moneymaker, that's hit. Nuggets and the Spurs. We chose the Nuggets -7. They win by 10. Fantastic. No Jamal Murray in the starting lineup, so Facundo Campazzo steps up, and he doesn't do Jamal Murray things, but they didn't need him to because everybody else had decent performances out here defensively. Facundo Campazzo, 6 points, 5 rebounds. He shot 2 of 5 from 3 and 28% overall from the field. Will Barton steps it up, 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Jokic, 25 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Classic Joker game. Aaron Gordon didn't even step it up in the scoring department when Jamal Murray wasn't out there, and they still are able to get the win. 9 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. He didn't even hit a 3, 0 of 2, and 50% from the field on 8 shots. And then Michael Porter Jr., 18 points, 10 rebounds on 50% shooting. So a little lackluster by the starters just kind of scoring, but look at this bench, folks. Oh, my goodness. PJ Dozier off the bench, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Monte Morris off the bench, 7 points, 4 assists. JaMychal Green, 9 points, 5 rebounds off the bench. JaVale McGee, 7 points, 8 rebounds. So just getting it kind of done off the bench by that group effort. Very well done. Bobo even got into the game for 3 minutes. Love it. 1 point. So overall, Nuggets are able to survive by their defense. Love it. Now let's go to the Spurs. Any good performances out here? Derek White, 18 points, classic. DeJounte Murray, 18 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan, 14 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. So just kind of a little lackluster there by DeMar DeRozan. Derek White and DeJounte Murray, we know they can do that. And then Patty Mills off the bench with 12. It's either Patty Mills or like Rudy Gay having that 10-plus point performance off the bench. It's never them on the nightly basis together. And that's why the Spurs are kind of forgettable, honestly. So very well done to the Nuggets. Another win. Winning. What's their streak now? 7? 7-game winning streak. Love it, man. Truly. All right, and then the last game of the night, the one that went into overtime, the Suns and the Jazz. Very well done by both these teams. Just unfortunately, the Suns were a little bit better scoring in overtime. That's just usually how it goes. Great performances by both teams in regulation. Then just when it gets into overtime, it's really kind of a coin flip of who kind of continues on that good scoring pace from the last kind of 2 minutes, 3 minutes in the fourth quarter to the 5-minute overtime period. It's really just always one team has great success still shooting the ball and one team doesn't. And that's what it came down to last night. So the Suns are able to win by 4 in overtime. Let's talk about the Suns here. Chris Paul, 29 points still with 9 assists. A magnificent performance by him. 4 rebounds to go along with that. 3 of 7 from 3, but all of those 3-pointers that went down were clutch as heck in the fourth quarter. So very well done, and he shot 50% from the field. Devin Booker, another 30-plus point game out here for this man. 35 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds on 0 of 6 shooting. He didn't even hit a 3 all game and still put up 35 points. So wonderful job by him. DeAndre Ayton, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Yes, sir. Jay Crowder, a little bit of a lackluster night scoring the ball. 6 points on 2 of 9 from 3, but he had 12 rebounds to kind of make up for it. And then McCall Bridges, no points on only 0 of 1 from the field. So didn't take a lot of shots, let everybody else handle it, and they're able to get it done with his defense alone. And then look at this. Great night from their big 3 of Paul, Booker, and Ayton. But look at this off the bench. Cameron Johnson, 11 points, 8 rebounds off the bench. Love it. And Torrey Craig putting up 7 points and 5 rebounds, and Dario Saric putting up 6 points and 8 rebounds, and Cameron Payne putting up 5 points off the bench. So not really any great bench performances, but once again collectively as a team getting it done. So the potential scores here off the bench of Cameron Johnson, Saric, and Craig, they kind of decently got it done. So I'm all about this Suns team truly. And then let's talk about the Jazz now. Donovan Mitchell's in there. He put up 41 points, 4 of 12 from 3, hitting some absolutely clutch threes. We just showed one at the top of the show to really kind of send it into overtime, and he had 8 rebounds to go along with that. Mike Conley, not the best night. 11 points, 4 assists on 1 of 7 from 3. Rudy Gobert, 16 points, 18 rebounds. Great night by him. Had a little bit of trouble kind of defending on the Suns, kind of, against the Suns decently. Chris Paul was kind of, getting him in that kind of mid-range right between, the 3-point line in the down low of the post, and he was kind of, exploiting him a little bit, which is, what we're used to with Rudy Gobert, unfortunately. Royce O'Neal only had 2 points and 4 rebounds on 3 shots. And then Bojan Bogdanovic, 20 points on 47% shooting. Off the bench here, Jordan Clarkson, a little light on what he's usually doing. 11 points, 1 rebound, 3 of 9 from 3. Nothing truly spectacular. So Suns are able to get the win here, 117-113 over the Jazz. And I don't know what the Jazz can do, man. They're always kind of, a high-profile team, even going back to last season. But it's, when they get into the playoffs and, down the stretch, they really just kind of lose their kind of what made them unstoppable. Like, teams figure it out and teams are able to kind of just beat it. So we'll see if the Jazz can kind of maintain their number 1 seed in the West for the rest of the season. Don't think it's going to happen. I do see the Suns kind of getting to that 1 spot. So we'll see if they can kind of keep up their winning. Alrighty, before we get into our moneymaker for today, we have to quickly go over and kind of judge the performances here in our MVP and 6th Man of the Year race. So Giannis did not play last night. The Bucks did not play last night, so we don't have to worry about him. Harden did not play last night, but his team did. So the team won. He was -3. Did we not talk about this Pelicans-Nets game? Did we skip that one on accident? We did. I was like, Kevin Durant's first game back. We don't have to spend too much time on it because it was really not competitive. But let's talk about it very quickly. Kevin Durant's first game back. He didn't start, but he did play. Kevin Durant in 18 minutes, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and he was 5 of 5 from the field and 2 of 2 from 3. So he shot 100%. Absolutely magnificent game. Kyrie Irving had 24 points. Joe Harris had 14 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, just a great performance by literally everybody. And lackluster here, Lonzo Ball, 15 points on 1 of 6 from 3. We always hear about how great he is. I mean, he doesn't really step up too much. He's not the guy that can step it up single-handedly. 15 points, 3 assists, no rebounds for the man. Eric Bledsoe had 26 points, his best game, and they still lose. Go figure us that, finally. Zion Williamson, 16 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Unfortunately, he only shot 33%, so his streak is unfortunately over. Of like 20 plus points on 50% shooting for like the first for like a streak. So that's over. So a little lackluster there. Isaiah Thomas put up 11 points in 19 minutes, so want to see him kind of start to get it done. I mean, he kind of had the same production as Lonzo Ball did in like 9 less minutes, so ridiculous that. Lonzo Ball was also a minus 29 on the floor, so classic. But yeah, that was the Nets Pelicans game. All right, so James Harden has to get kind of -3 for not playing in a game, and I would say kind of even maybe -1 more for just what they did. They blew out the Pelicans. Kevin Durant just looking great, so didn't really lose a step without him, so definitely hurting his MVP race here. He had 4 points going into last night's game. We're going to subtract 4, and now he's at 0 points here. Not great. Alrighty, Joel Embiid, his team did not play last night. Damian Lillard's team did not play last night. Jokic's team did. Jokic, +2 last night for a win. And what did he do compared to everybody else? Most points, most assists, second most rebounds. No Jamal Murray, kind of picking up the slack a little bit. So I'm going to give him an extra point there, 3 points for his performance, and we'll jump him up to 10 points, and he is kind of now commanding a lead here in our MVP race with 10 points. The second highest is Joel Embiid with 6. So we'll see if he can keep it up. And then the 6th man, Montrezl Harrell and the Lakers did not play. Jordan Clarkson did play last night, and they lose, and he didn't play well. So -2 for the loss for him. And, I mean, only 11 points, 3 of 9 from 3. I mean, we expect a lot more for that. So we're going to subtract another point there, and -3 points for Jordan Clarkson last night, dropping his total down to 2. Tim Hardaway Jr. did play last night as well. They lose, so -2 for him. What did he do compared to everybody else? 18 points, 6 rebounds. He was pretty efficient out there, so we'll just leave it at the -2 for him. We'll drop him down to 6 points in total, and Thaddeus Young and the Bulls did not play. So we should be all up to date there, and we can head over to our Moneymaker segment. So here we go. Let's see what is on tap today in the NBA. Alrighty, today is Thursday. What do we got? Alrighty, Bulls, Raptors. Ooh, that should be a good one. Looking to get, probably going to take that Bulls team. Maybe we can get some nice value with that. So, Bulls, Raptors, Lakers, Heat today, 7:30 on TNT. Cavs, Thunder, Bucks, Mavericks, Blazers, Jazz. Ooh, Blazers coming off of a bad loss against the Suns. Let's see if they can kind of keep it going and challenge the Blazers. That's going to be a good game. And then the late game on tonight, Suns, Clippers. How are the Suns going to able to kind of go back-to-back here, hoping that they don't drop off and lose the game against the Clippers? That's also on TV at 10 o'clock. That's going to be a great one. And then Pistons and Kings, the last game of the night. All right, so we went 3-3 last night in our Moneymaker. Love it. So let's get these lines up to date here and see what we can do. Find the value. Let's go back-to-back tonight, folks. Doesn't that sound great? Let's find the value. So here we go. First game up, Lakers, Heat. Lakers +9, Heat -9. Alrighty. Obviously, we know no LeBron James, no Anthony Davis. Kyle Kuzma is a game-time decision. Talen Horton-Tucker is out. Oof, suspended for that man. So, unfortunate there. They do have Andre Drummond, so he is going to be able to be good to go, but, you know, no Talen Horton-Tucker, no Kyle Kuzma, potentially not great there. And then for the Heat, everybody's good to go besides Tyler Hero as a game-time decision. So we're going to stay away from this one. Heat should have no problem here. They just are coming off of a loss, so I'm expecting them to kind of get it back on track here. Just too much to swallow here. So we'll stay away from it, but the Lakers without LeBron and AD, I mean, we got to stay away from it either anyway. So we'll stay away from this one and see if the Heat can cover the 9. There's no doubt they win. It's just, do they cover the 9? Alrighty, let's keep going here. Bulls, Raptors. Bulls -4, Raptors +4. Alrighty, let's see who's good to go here for these teams. Garrett Temple is still out. Zach LaVine, a game-time decision. Lauri Markkanen, a game-time decision. Kobe White, a game-time decision. Alright, some question marks there. And then for the Raptors, Kyle Lowry is still out. Rodney Hood is out. Fred VanVleet is still out. Paul Watson is out. DeAndre Bembry is out. So they still have all of their players out here. And yeah, the Raptors, oh no, they just lost against the Lakers. Not a very good Not a very good loss there. The blow of the Warriors was 2 games ago, and then they just beat the Wizards narrowly. But I'm going to go with the Bulls here. I'm ready to ride this train until it falls off, folks. They just got into their rhythm of what it takes to win. So we're going to be following it, and we're going to be betting it until the wheels fall off. Hasn't bit us in the butt yet. So Bulls -4 is going to be our first pick here. All right, then we get the Cavs and the Thunder. Ooh, Cavs -4, Thunder +4. Let's see if everybody's going to go here for the Cavs because we may be taking it. Larry Nance Jr. is out and Jarrett Allen is still out. Damn it, Jared. Can you get over the concussion, please? Jeez. All right, and then for the Thunder here, what do we get? Darius Miller, game time decision. Isaiah Roby, game time decision. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is still out. Lugan Stort is a game time decision, so he may be back. Puko Sevsky is a game time decision. That's their best player. So we're going to stay away from this one. I know Darius Garland and Colin Sexton have really kind of been getting it done a little bit here for the Cavs. Are they on a 2-game winning streak or just a 1? What do they got? Just a 1-game winning streak. All right, blew out the Spurs very well in their last game. So we're going to stay away from it. I mean, the Spurs, this Thunder team, just kind of a lot of question marks because, no Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in the starting lineup. And then the Cavs, I mean, they're a little spotty on their offensive performances. So we'll stay away from this one. All right, then we get the Bucks and the Mavs. Bucks +1, Mavs -1.5. Oh my goodness, there must be a lot of people out for this Bucks team to only be a +1.5 wild. So I'm assuming Giannis is not playing. PJ Tucker is out, and Giannis is a game time decision. What's up with this Mavericks team? JJ Redick, a game time decision. Willie Cauley-Stein, game time decision. Maxi Kleber, a game time decision. What is Giannis definitely out here? What's up with Giannis? We get any update on him? We have no update on Giannis. He's got to not be playing. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense, right? No update on Giannis. He's listed as doubtful for Thursday, so we have a game time decision in doubtful, so that's not good. So we will have to stay away from this one, unfortunately. Obviously, if he was playing the 1.5, wouldn't even be there, but, if it was, we would have taken it. But, yeah, I will stay away from this one. Bucks, they should win. I mean, they just lost against the Warriors, but the Warriors had, a little bit of a fire lit under them, and we'll see how the Mavericks are able to kind of respond on the back-to-back. All right, then we get the Suns and the Clippers. The Suns +6. Oh, Suns +6. They are in a back-to-back here, so that's probably why. But let's see if anybody's out for this team. Just Abdel Nader's a game time decision. And then for the Clippers, Serge Ibaka is still out. So I'm going to go the Suns +6 here. I know they just faced the Jazz last night, so they probably are going to be a little light, a little lackluster. But we're going to rock with this team. They've got the pieces to play. Let's see if they can kind of string off 2 in a row. They want that #1 seed in the West, so I don't think anybody's going to be like, all right, let's take some time off or, let's be a little lackluster tonight. I think they go all out. Suns +6. We'll take that points. I mean, whenever you get that, you've got to just live and die by the result. It's just unfortunate they went into overtime last night, and now they are in a back-to-back here against the Clippers. That is the only unfortunate knock on this team, but we're going to play through it here. Suns +6. All right, Blazers and Jazz. Blazers +6, Jazz -6. Norman Powell's a game-time decision for the Blazers. Nurkic is also a game-time decision for them. And then for the Jazz, Mike Conley's a game-time decision. So we're going to stay away from this one just because I don't know if I can trust this Blazers team against these best teams. They just got blown out by the Clippers. This Jazz team, yes, they were in a back-to-back, and they just lost last night, so maybe they are a little lackluster, kind of the same thinking along with the Suns, but I can't take this Blazers team just quite yet. Got to see them prove themselves first, and then we'll go from there. All right, and then the last game of the night, the Pistons and the Kings. Pistons +7.5, Kings -7.5. Probably going to stay away from this one just because it's 2 not the good teams. But let's see who's in and out here. Jeremy Grant is out for the Pistons. Oof, cannot take that. And then for the Kings, just Marvin Bagley is out. So Kings -7.5 is looking good because the Pistons' best player is out. So we'll stay away from this one, though, and just rock with this. Do we go with the Kings? Do we risk it with the Kings, folks? Do we let this Kings team, just 22 wins, 12th in the West, do we let them kind of potentially ruin our moneymaker? They are on a 4-game losing streak. Pistons without Jeremy Grant, though, they're literally nothing without that man. So, ugh. Let's take it. Let's risk it. Kings minus 7.5. Let's get it. 3-teamer to kind of go with our 3-teamer last night. Let's go 6-0 these last 2 days. Bulls minus 4. Suns plus 6. Kings minus 7.5, folks. There it is. Alrighty, let's head over to our NFL draft prospect of the day. Today, we are going to be looking at Dyami Brown, wide receiver from North Carolina. So we'll look at the stats, we'll look at the film, and see should our teams be drafting this man. Should he go over Devontae Smith? Should this be the first wide receiver taken in this year's draft? Well, let's find out. So here we go. Dyami Brown, wide receiver from North Carolina, 6'1", 185. Not bad there. 6'1", that's what I like. Anything above 6 foot, I would take all day, folks, truly. All right, here we go. 3 seasons at North Carolina. 2018 freshman season, 17 receptions for only 173 yards, so not too involved there offensively. Then got better. Second year here, sophomore year in 2019, 51 receptions for 1,034 yards and 12 touchdowns. So yes, sir, instantly being made the focal point of this offense and running wild with it. Love it. And then he kept it up in 2020. 55 receptions for 1,099 yards and 8 touchdowns. So averaging 20 yards a catch in 2019 and 2020. Fantastic work out there. Love that. So, I mean, got better every single season. Stayed good, stayed solid there, and I absolutely love it. So, fantastic work there. Now let's see what he did in the bowl games, because we see they got 2 bowl games in 2019 and 2020. So let's start here. 2020 sophomore season for Dyami Brown. Got to a bowl game against Temple. They won. He had 5 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. Love it. Let's see. They put up 55 points. Okay. Let's see how he kind of fared compared to everybody else in North Carolina. He had the most receiving yards, and Daz Newsome, another wide receiver for them, had more touchdowns. He had 2, but Dyami Brown still had more yards. So, he still got it done. One of the best receivers here for this kind of bowl game. So I love that he was the main kind of focal point still in the bowl game. Love it. All right, and then 2020. Let's see what he did in the bowl game. Oh, did he opt out for the bowl game? Yes, he did. All righty. So now let's see if North Carolina still won the bowl game this season, because if they won the bowl game without him, it's gonna take a little bit of a knock on him, because they obviously don't need him that much, right? So let's see what they did in this year's bowl game. They needed him in 2019 for the win. Let's see if they needed him here in 2020. So they get to a bowl game against Texas A&M, and they lose. Yes, that's great. He doesn't play. Their best receiver doesn't play, and they lose. That is a green check mark for this man. Let's see what the scoring was like. They only put up 27 points. Let's see what their wide receivers did. 68 yards for 1 touchdown. Josh Downs, 4 receptions for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Damn, he was able to kind of break away a couple of times. But unfortunately, it still ends in a loss. So, alrighty. Stats are kind of favoring Dyami Brown a little bit. I mean, if you're going 2 straight seasons with 1,000 yards, I'm all about it. 20 yards a catch. So, absolutely fantastic in the stats. Let's see what this man's looking like on the field. So we got a nice little 5-minute highlight from this man. Let's see if this man's looking as good on film as he was on paper. So here we go. Dyami Brown, wide receiver for UNC North Carolina. His number is 2-21. So if we have to follow him around the field. So let's see what we get here. First play up. Quarterback stepping up into the pocket. Ooh, whoa, fantastic catch here. Look at him just go out and get this ball, how he kind of snags it. As he's the ball is thrown inside. He's kind of still trailing outside. His body momentum is still kind of carrying him outside. He has to kind of spin around as he's catching. So he's got some great concentration here. What a catch. Spinning around, body momentum going away towards the ball, but he's wide open. catching it fantastically. That's what we're talking about. We might be able to say surefire hands. I mean, that one right here is fantastic, but let's keep going with some replays before we lock in solidifying sure hands with the notes. Great catch here. Able to have a little bit of a half a step here inside on the corner. Takes a big shot. Still able to hold on to the ball. That's what we're talking about. All right, here we go against Boston College. Once again, just kind of in that kind of seam area right here. Able to kind of find his just way open. After the catch, yes, sir, stays on his feet. That's what we're talking about. So far, no breakaway speed, but we'll see what the highlights continue to go. He's going deep this time. Oh, yes! Yes! Wide open on this one. Easy 2 steps on the defense. Quarterback put it absolutely right on the money. He was running out of field. He was running out of field to run on, and he's able to drop the ball in right before the defender was able to close in. Fantastic work here. Well done. Damn. Whew. I don't know if he got 2 feet in bounds or not, but hey, it's a touchdown. Very close to the 2 feet for the NFL, but man, oh man, what a catch here. Oh, we get a nice little replay of this one. We might be able to see if he got 2 feet in bounds here. Oh, I would say yes. I think yes. Let's see one more time in slow motion. Let's keep it going here. All right, so he caught it here. I think one of those foot are down. Oh, that left one may have just came down out of bounds. Oh, my goodness. That one foot is definitely down. He didn't get 2 feet, but still, hey, this is college. I'll give it to him. All right, once again, another deep ball. Yes, sir, a tad underthrown this time, but he's able to stay with it here. Defender, poor playing on this one. Just kind of really took himself out of the play, got tripped up a little bit, but there he is. Brown able to stay with the ball, kind of getting brought down a little bit. The defender is all over him. Let's see how he just kind of works it here on the route. Let's see him just kind of, beat him on this route. Just a straight up go route in that. All right, so he's got the nice speed to kind of beat his defenders there. Very well done. All right, let's go to the next play up. What do we got? Against Florida State now. They're down 10 with 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They need a quick score, and there it is. Wonderful throw. Able to beat the defender very easily here. Oh, my God, that's too easy right there. All right, make it a 3-point game there to come back. Let's see. Let's actually go. Is the next play against Florida State too? No. All right, let's see if they ended up winning that game against Florida State, because if they did, he's a huge reason why. I mean, like I just said, down 10 with 5 minutes left, and he's able to get that touchdown to knock it down to 7. Or to knock it down to 3-point. They still lose. Damn. Darn, the defense couldn't get another stop. Defense couldn't get another stop. Unfortunate. All right, but he tried it. He tried his best out there. Got it to a 1-possession game. But let's go back to these highlights now. Let's see what this man is still continuing to do out here. All right, against NC State. Boom, bingo, right there on the sideline, able to kind of get between that soft spot of the zone, between the corner and the safety. Quarterback puts it right on him. He's able to make the catch. All right, against NC State again. Going across the middle of the field, going up high, pointing the ball. Look at him go up, extend this ball, extend his hands over the middle of the field. That's what we're talking about. So, surefire hands, folks. That's what we're talking about. Love it. High, low, inside, outside. He's going to make the snag wide open right here. Takes a couple of hits, bounces off. Finishing speed. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have that finishing speed. Unfortunately, brought down right there with an ankle tackle. Even if he doesn't get him, this other guy is going to cut him off for the last 30 yards. So he doesn't have the finishing speed. No finishing speed, which isn't a big knock, but it is something, that we do see with kind of Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase. They do have that finishing speed, so little unfortunate there. All right, nice little comeback route, able to kind of avoid the tackle there. See, oh my God, that was good. This burst of speed here was real good. What do they call here? Touchdown? Wow, they do call touchdown. Fantastic work there. Damn. Now I might want to say finishing. Now I do want to say finishing speed a little bit. That was real good there, but we'll still say no finishing speed until we see something else. Maybe we'll turn it around. But damn, he had 200 yards this game, 6 receptions, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game. Oh my God! Oh my God! That was just too easy right there. Let's see him stay in bounds here. Stay in bounds, stay on his feet. Oh, man, that was fantastic. All right, here we go. Still the same game against Virginia where he had 200 yards. Getting behind the defense there. Fantastic. Yes, sir. Easy touchdown there. And then once again, ooh, yes, sir. Here we go. Launching it 45 yards deep into the end zone. Bingo, bango. There we go. Touchdown. One-on-one coverage. Defender can't kind of keep up. Ends up slipping at the last second. And he's able to kind of still track the ball down. So those short hands, he's looking the ball in, getting draped by the defender. Ball's kind of thrown not exactly where he needs it to be. Kind of floated up in the air a little bit. Had to fend off that defender. And he makes the catch for the touchdown. All right, here we go against Wake Forest, going deep again, one-on-one. Oh, my God! One-handed catch, surefire hands all day on this man. We don't get a slow-down replay of that one? Damn, that was fantastic. Wide open right here, able to finish off for the last 3 yards for the touchdown. I want to go back to this play, this one-handed catch. Let's go back to this one. Gosh damn, this is absolutely wonderful coverage. Just kind of a 50-50 ball that you would just trust your receiver on, and he goes up and makes a play. So, hey, I'll give it up for the quarterback of trusting his big old wide receiver down here. But, man, oh, man, that's a dangerous pass, but he comes out on top with a nice one-handed grab. Wonderful work. All right, that's the wide open one. All right, down in the red zone, 50-50 ball. Yes, sir. Love this. Getting tugged. His back of the jersey is getting tugged by the defender. He's still able to kind of still get free, get a half a step. Quarterback puts this ball absolutely on the money, back of the end zone, and he's able to make the catch. Yes, sir. Alrighty, going deep here against Notre Dame. Oh, my God. This UNC quarterback is not afraid to air it out deep, about 45 yards there. And here we go, down at the 1 yard line. Great catch. Do we get a kind of a slow down replay of this one? No, we got to do it ourselves. Look at this, a little underthrown there. Ball kind of just hung in there a little bit longer to make it, a decent contested catch. But he's able to kind of get the catch and get it down to the 1 yard line, so we'll take it. Here we go against Miami, Florida. Once again, this man is just slinging it downfield. Gosh damn, UNC quarterback. We got to take a look at him. Holy cow. Watch out maybe next season. I don't think he's draft eligible this season, but next season, watch out for this man. Here we go again. Just running wild on Miami here. Another ball where he gets free and down at the 5. Yeah, so the finishing speed just unfortunately is just not quite there. Getting brought down, 5 yards short. Just those short yards of the end zone. So a little unfortunate there, but he's able to beat all the defenders right off the rip, get behind them, a solid half a step behind the defender, surefire hands, just no finishing speed. We like this man. Definitely isn't going to be able to rival Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase, but man, oh man, solid receiver out here. This man can get it done. Love it. So that's Dyami Brown from UNC. All right, that's going to do it for us. Let's see if anything has been breaking as we've been live so far. Mason Plumlee is questionable today. Anything else? Nothing. Deshaun Watson's attorney has filed a motion for an emergency hearing, asking a judge to rule that lawyer Tony Busby has to identify one of the women who filed a lawsuit under the pseudonym of Jane Doe. Okay, so he wants to, this must be, something Deshaun Watson's really worried about. He's like, hang on, what about Jessica H.? Oh, that was the worst encounter I've ever had. And now, Deshaun Watson's attorney's like, well, we need to know if she's one of these people, because if she is, if you're telling me everything you've done to her, as many times as you've nutted on this girl, we've got to know, to kind of get in front of it. So we'll see what happens here. Emergency meeting. Emergency justice meeting all around. Hear ye, I declare an emergency lawyer meeting. And we'll see how they react to that. Alrighty. That looks like it's going to be it for us today. Nothing else breaking. Julian Edelman. Report. Wide receiver. Julian Edelman has been hampered by knee issues for the better part of last 2 years and is considered doubtful he will able to play a full season without it becoming a problem again. Not good there for Julian Edelman. Alrighty. I think that is now it. What do we get to here? Quote by Draymond Green. Draymond on the last play with Kevin Durant that started their heated argument. Quote from Draymond Green: "I'm looking for him to pitch back. I dribbled the fucking ball off my foot looking for him and shit went all wrong." All right, Kevin Durant on the play that sparked the argument. "I wanted the moment. Draymond seen it in a different way. That was the clash." So just, two superstar athletes going at it a little bit, thinking they deserve it. They deserve the shot. Alrighty. That is going to do it for us today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We are back tomorrow live, noon Eastern, doing it all again. Oh, tomorrow's Friday, so we are updating our power rankings in the NBA, doing our Moneymaker, looking to 3P because we're going to go back-to-back tonight. So all of the classic Takes by Fans things tomorrow on Takes by Fans, plus the NBA power rankings. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow, live, noon Eastern. We're out of here. Tomorrow's soup of the day is chicken noodle.